Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Here we've got a pair of running backs who are hoping their number will be called plenty in today's game. It's the Seahawks going up against the Browns. So now let's head on over to rainy Raymond James Stadium in Tampa as we welcome in our announcing crew of Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Larry, it's something that Floridians are all too familiar with as the rain continues to fall here at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The dog pound in full roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Seattle Seahawks. Hi again, everybody. I'm Brandon Gaudin. To my left, as always, he's Davis. And Charles, we saw in the open, we've got a couple of great running backs in this game tonight, each capable of putting a team on his back.
And I'm excited to talk about the runners, not just the passers who have a big hand and who's going to win this game. Both of these guys are do it all. Can run it, can...
And look at this. Right away, a loose football. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And when I think of Russell Wilson, I think not just of the big plays that he's made, and those are considerable, but when they were made. 4th and 26 in a Big Ten championship game against Michigan State when he was with Wisconsin. A big completion helped lead his team to a victory. A big 4th down throw for... touchdown in an NFC championship game against the San Francisco 49ers. When the chips are down, this guy plays at a big level. Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or...
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Wilson. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Second down now after the incompletion. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And a short gain down to about the 33. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9. from the shotgun. Wilson. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense, and over the post.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And we get a look at DeShone Kizer as he and the rest of the Browns offense come onto the field. And he was the NFL leader in 2017, Charles, in a category you don't want to lead in, 22 interceptions. But let's put that into perspective. He just turned 22 years old back on January the 3rd. So I don't know that you want to just say, hey, he doesn't have a bright future because of that.
I would agree with you on that one. And, yes, there's a lot of improvement that has to happen. But it has to happen around him as well with the rest of the team. And, look, throwing a lot of interceptions as a rookie quarterback is almost a rite of passage. The Hall of Fame is littered with guys who threw a lot of interceptions young in their career. Will he be able to bounce back from that? Will he gain some confidence from the fact that he got through an entire first year in the NFL and he's still standing? And will he make the improvements necessary to seize the position in the second year in Cleveland? That remains to be seen.
He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
First down, Kizer. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
A first down throw for Kizer. He's got a man. It's Corey Coleman. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Kizer yet again. His throw caught right around the 6. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down. To the air again, Kizer. And he fires one incomplete. And a look at Seattle's defense.
First time I saw Cam Chancellor was in college at Virginia Tech, and I loved his athletic ability. I loved the way he took care of the middle of the field, but I wondered how that would translate to the NFL. Well, he found the perfect home in Seattle, where they allow him to roam the middle of the field and sometimes act almost as a second middle linebacker to take care of things that come across his way. All right, Captain, it's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays, fire another one into the end zone.
The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A terrific job there to keep him out of the end zone. And now it'll be 4th and goal.
All right, I'm doing my rudimentary math here. That's his 3rd catch here in the first quarter. I don't know if it's just game plan or he's just finding his way open.
Well, maybe a little of both. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Seahawks able to come up with a goal line stand. Now Wilson back into his end zone. In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And this will be scooped up in the end end zone. A defender gets there, and it's a touchdown. That's something you have to be wary of on your side of the field, that close to the goal line. The defense, they are looking for that football. They got it. They scored it.
You are so right, and the quarterback has to speed things up himself. So close to the goal line, they're going to get after you. Make sure you get rid of the football and in a safe place.
Zane Gonzalez on for the extra point. Footing likely going to be an issue all night here on a rainy night, but this one is good. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do. Nice job by that defensive front there to hold them to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. On second down, Wilson. Side here, and that's complete. And he will score. Touchdown. A big play there. 65 yards. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
Blair Walsh on to attempt the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Browns offensively getting ready to take the field again. If you take a step back, Charles, last 2 years for the Browns, 1-31. Worst 2-year stretch in the 98-year history of the NFL. Everybody knows that story. And the playoff drought at 14 years. Where does this franchise turn?
It's one of the great questions because I was on the record last spring that their draft looked about as professional a draft as you could have. 3 first-rounders, all of them became starters for them. When you think about it, Myles Garrett at defensive end, Jabril Peppers at defensive back, and David Njoku at tight end. All of them contributed. It looked like they were making progress. They've just simply forgotten how to win as an organization, a franchise, as a team. That's the number one thing. Get a win. Get 2 wins, and maybe they can start to turn this thing around.
From the red zone now, Kaiser. Coleman has it here right side. And he is going to feel that one. Knocked down hard. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Again, it's Kaiser. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Randall Telfer from 13 yards out. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. If you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. They worked out for 6. And that makes it 14-10. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's capped off by the Browns' touchdown. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Here's a handoff to Carson to begin the drive. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. The #1 overall pick, Myles Garrett, showing why he was the #1 pick as he gets him behind the line.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
And the offense will be looking to get at least some of this yardage back here. It's 2nd and 12. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
The 13 yards that time of the first. This is Carson. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. They'll run it now out of the gun. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And I think the Browns got it. They did. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. 14-10 the score. We'll return to Tampa after this message. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. They'll throw here. Kaiser. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. On second down, here's Crowell. And now running right through it. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game. The effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
Play action now. Kaiser steps away. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. Deshaun Kaiser with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. And maybe the defense got so caught up in him throwing the football, they forgot he can take off, too.
And you often hear about the quarterback being the unaccounted for guy as a runner. Well, even on a passing play, he's unaccounted for as a runner, and he turned it into a nice game.
A very nice run, and it turns into 6 points. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses. Catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on to Doug Baldwin. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Doug Baldwin, 62 yards. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Walsh now for the PAT. And he's got it to make this a 21-17 game. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. On the return, Jabril Peppers gets past one man.
Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
Kaiser now to throw on first down. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. A first down carry now for Crowell. Finding room to the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Isaiah Crowell, 35 yards. And the Browns add on to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. They'll begin the drive with Carson. And some room to roam now. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. It's a big play there for Seattle. 42 yards. A wet track like this, I don't know if it helps anybody, but it probably helps the offensive player running the ball more than the defense.
And while they're doing that, there's also the matter of focus.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And this is picked up by the Browns. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line. And great effort. Does he get burned for that in film? He fought through some tackles. End result, though, a fumble.
It's going to be one of those situations where he'll get yelled at about the fumble, but at the same time get a check mark for the extra effort. And so it's one of those tough, tricky things for coaches. You don't want to coach it out of them so much that you take away the effort. You just want them to be conscious of taking care of the football.
Out comes DeShone Kizer in the Browns offense. He's thrown for a touchdown. He also ran for a touchdown, so they have to count for a guy that can do a little bit of both.
And because of that, that puts a defense back on its heels. Because normally you just think, okay, he's going to throw the ball. Let's tee off, put a little extra pressure on him. But when he's able to either escape or run with the ball and design plays, that really changes what you try and do on defense.
Yeah, you certainly can't forget about the arm, that's for sure. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 23 yards on the play.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
And now running right through it. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 more yards there and another first down.
But we know one thing, Isaiah Crowell can run if given an opportunity. Had the longest run in the NFL in 2016, an 85-yard touchdown sprint, week 2 against Baltimore.
This one not quite as long, didn't end in 6, but still a great game. And his throw is incomplete. Josh Gordon, the intended receiver, and it's second down.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. Kizer. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And, yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. To throw is Kizer. His throw caught right around the 6. And they do stop him, but he takes it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. They'll run it with Johnson. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game? I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. This offense so far on third down, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and goal.
Here we go.
Here's Crowell. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Partners, decision time now. I know it's still just the second quarter, but you have an opportunity to either kick the field goal or go for it and try and score a big-time touchdown. This is why the head coaches get paid the big bucks.
And Gonzalez puts this one through. And that will get the lead up to 14. So they take it all the way to the 1-yard line, but in the end, they opt for 3.
I know if this was a video game, they never would have gone for the field goal because, Brandon, who kicks field goals in video games? But you've got to make sure you get points, and that was as easy a 3 as you can get.
You kick field goals in video games. That's who kicks field goals in video games. Well, throw on first down with Wilson. Throw left side complete. That's Hunt. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And incomplete.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
And that is incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now.
And how about this, a fake? And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. It's such a risky play there to fake it. You're either the hero or the GOAT. Here they're going to be the GOAT.
Unfortunate, too, because you know they thought they had something there. They don't call it just to call it. They don't just say, oh, what the heck, let's go ahead and fake it here. They feel like they've got something on. They've got the defense in the right spot. Just unsuccessful in that opportunity.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. A reminder with halftime approaching, when we get there, we'll ship you off to Orlando. Larry Ridley will have first half highlights and analysis.
And I hope he's iced down his throat because he's got a lot to get through.
And it's a fumble, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And I do believe this is going to wind up a safety. It is. It's a safety. How about that for a wacky play?
Partner, I know I'm supposed to really describe what happened there. I'm counting on you for this one. That was one weird play.
Well, what I was going to ask you, in these situations, shouldn't these guys just dive on the football around the goal line rather than try to make a heroic return?
That's what they're taught, but sometimes in the heat of battle, sometimes that heroic stuff comes to the front when you really don't need it.
Fielded just inside. And a loose football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And down inside the 15 he goes. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
And his throw here is incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. It's the fullback from 13 yards out. And the Seahawks are able to close the gap just a bit. And he wasn't blocking or running it there. They tossed it to him.
And you remember the good old days when the 49ers were riding roughshod in the league? They used their fullback in pass plays all the time. Roger Craig, Tom Rathman, those guys were terrific at running these types of plays.
Extra point try now for Walsh. And the lead cut down to 9. Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. So a very short kick here. This will be taken by one of the up men. Heading out is the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Kaiser now from the 50. Going underneath for Crowell. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Kaiser now. And some space here. And he slides to avoid the hit. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down. The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Here we go.
From the gun, Kaiser. A little dump off for Crowell. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first thanks to a flashy little spin move. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And the kick by Gonzalez is good. And that will give them a 12-point lead. So a good kick there, and they wrap up the drive by putting 3 on the board.
And you know, let's face it, you're not always going to come away with 6. Defense in the NFL are just too good. But you've got to come away with something. And there, they get 3.
And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the 2nd quarter. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. He's going to look deep down the field. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've reached halftime in a what? You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Second half begins with a run by Crowell. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7. From the shotgun, it's Kaiser. And he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And a great spot to start this drive from here. Following the fumble recovery, Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hunt. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. Now he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's third down now. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down.
One of the things I love about this game is there's a match of wins throughout the game. Who's going to get the advantage? Who's going to catch someone off guard? I feel like the offense thought they might catch the defense off balance with that play call, but unfortunately, that didn't work for them.
And this one is right down Broadway. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. A decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they do inch a bit closer.
Yeah, still lots of time to go in this one. Take the points, move on, and let your defense try to get the ball back.
Now after the made field goal, Walsh back out to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal, and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. Again, it's Crowell. And Crowell lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it. And somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 9.
Here we go.
Working out of the gun. Here's Kaiser. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Pretty good location there on that throw.
It really was, wasn't it? That was likely one where the receiver was either going to catch it or no one. Really good decision. And, boy, what a catch and move right there.
It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Josh Gordon, 65 yards. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
So they're going to go for 2. Kaiser to throw it. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football. We all know that teams never want to use the word panic, but if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
They go play action here on 1st down. And escapes the sack. He's going to let this one go deep. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
And attempted a deep ball there, and they didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. 2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. And they'll get